if you are given some amount of power to do something, it's up to you to how you're gonna do it. People can do it differently, but usually it's geared toward ego, and that
Yep.
can also
Right.
yeah, that can also influence you so badly you forget who you are.
But think about it. Even let's come back down to our level. When you start to have some positions at your workplace, school, and all that, you start to act differently, and everyone here can.
Well, I think
testify that.
that's like part of the position. Like you naturally have to act differently if you're in a different. Let's take me when I got ranked up to sergeant. Of course, I can't act the same way I used to act when I was a specialist because I have people under me. So I used to be very childish when I was a specialist because I wasn't in charge of anything. Like it comes to a certain responsibility that you
And
literally.
power.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when you get to like you literally have to. It's not like okay, it'd be like I wasn't like this, so I have to. Like you literally have to be because it is a different position. So I get the people that are like, oh, they be like, oh, you changed up because you got a different position or you got ranked up or you made manager. Like you literally have to act differently because that role comes with a certain level of responsibilities that you have to be in a certain like mindset to actually play it out.
When you say act differently, what do you mean by that?
Let's say manage position. Of course, you have to act like you're the boss. Like you have to.
So let's say I'm grinding with people right here,
Mm-hmm.
and I finally made it. Do I have to act differently?
Act differently in terms of roles. Like, of course, you have to be a little more serious with your work, and especially when it comes to actually doing things, you have to be a little serious. When you don't have that position, you feel like you can lolly dally, and do whatever you want to do. But when you actually get into that position, you high key have to lock in. Like you have to.
I am talking about the people that I'm grinding with. You, Nana Kojo.
Okay.
So if I finally make it, does that mean I have to start act different around you?
I'm not saying act different as in like be rude and be cussing us out. That's
Okay.
not. I'm not talking about like being disrespectful.
Okay.
But when you do make it, there's a certain level of responsibility and like role you have to take on because you have a lot more on your plate. So you don't have time to be playing games.
Which I agree.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
But trust me, there's a lot when it comes to this fame power thing. There's a lot more into it because
for sure.
Just imagine once again, this power, this fame, everything that people got, they actually work hard for it, because when we take it from the music side, there's a lot of music that people release a day, like thousands of music. So for you to be on top, for you to get to that level, it only demands hard working. So these people, when they get to that level, they feel like I made it on my own. I did it.
Yeah.
It's just like you going to school for years to earn your master's and feel like I did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they also feel like I did it. I made it. So it's so hard for them to actually listen to people that they think that they don't know much.
But that's the thing though, because they start thinking because I was able to make it here and you're not, they start thinking about it in terms of levels. Like I'm on a different level than you. So I can talk to you a certain kind of way or I can treat you a certain kind of way. And that's where it gets really messy. Because just because you made it doesn't mean somebody else is not on the same like intellectual level or whatever else as you. You just happen to be lucky, like high key, to be lucky to get to where you are.
I think fame and power comes and meet people, a lot of people on their way, but they really don't have the knowledge about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people get that, but still they're ignorant about how they can use it and control it, And yeah, just as you said, people get famous, they get a lot of power, and then they just start to go back and do things that they feel like, oh, I just want to intimidate this person with the position I am, right?
Yeah.
And that is not cool, and that is what I meant by being ignorant. So if you actually know how powerful you are and you know your worth, you're not gonna actually drag that down or talk to people anyhow, because there are a lot of successful people. When they're talking to you, you can actually feel that now these people, they are kind within and outside
because they remember what it feels like to be in your position.
Yeah. So it all comes up to you not forgetting where you started and who you working with, you know.
Yeah, let's switch gears into a little bit of the psychological part of fame. And how it distorts their reality. Why do you think so many celebrities spiral when they hit peak fame? Why do you think as soon as they hit peak fame, they start spiraling? I'm gonna give you an example. I don't know if everybody else has seen that video of Doechii. It was like a couple weeks ago, probably a month ago. There's a video of Doechii, I guess, like yelling at one of her workers for messing something up, and people are saying like she's hit peak fame now, so she's like spiraling and things like that. So why do you think that happens?
I think it even happens when they're not famous, but just that when you're famous, there's a lot of
attention,
a lot of people. Because there's a couple of times that, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a couple of times that, no, don't do that. Like, you know, it all comes up to how, you know, let me explain this. Let me use Beyonce, for example.
Yeah.
The way I was listening to one of her videos, documentaries, and she was saying that the way she want her staff to be, right, it should be that way. You know why? Because sometimes you have the dream. I'm coming to support you to make the dream come true. But if you don't guide me the way you see it, the picture that you have in your mind, it's gonna be hard for us to get to that destination.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like, no, it's supposed to be this way. Let's do it this way. Because I have a vision. I know what I'm actually trying to do, right? But that's how it gets tired sometimes over time when it's like you don't feel hurt, and sometimes I'll just go to the next day and be like, why did you post that video, bro?
Yeah.
You know, like you can tell that you actually trying to build something, but he also helping by promoting, right? But he also post something different that you don't really want that thing out there. You know, like, yo, just take it down. So it happens every day in, day out. Just that when you become that A-list artist, that famous, that popular, there's a lot of media around you. So every moment, everything is being captured. That is the whole point.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's just so many people are different. Like how's one person, how you're gonna react when you hit peak fame in terms of like how you treat others around you and things like that. That's not the same. Like that's just not the same about how I might act if I hit peak fame.
Yeah, true.
Because just coming up, like you might have a different personality, like a different character than I am. You might be able to take way more than I can. So if you can take way more than I can and you hit peak fame and something happens, you might be calm about it. But if I already can't handle the regular things that are happening here and we hit peak and I hit peak fame, if somebody bring me the wrong outfit, I might crash out.
Exactly. But Mia, let me tell you something.
I might spiral.
Sometimes it's not even your behavior. It's not who you are. Sometimes the fans, the people actually change you to be somebody else that you're not.
That's we're about
gaslighting
to that,
you.
actually.
And it's so sad because you know, all these beef going on between artists and stuff like that. Aside those that do it for the love of the work, the act, some people actually got beef, and you can tell like there's a lot of fans comparing Messi to Ronaldo, like, and sometimes if you are Ronaldo or Messi, some of them might get into you. You know?
For sure.
Yeah, because we have mean people making comment, we have quiet people making comment, we have different species of human beings making comment about whatever thing that you're doing. And sometimes, let's say if I purchase this for maybe $100, but it means a lot to me, right? Then somebody just come to the media and just say something like reduce the value of whatever thing that it is. So sometimes it's the fans that actually motivate or actually influence these these famous people to act like the way they act sometimes, because they get frustrated with everything going on. And they are also human beings. Don't forget that. So a lot of things also get into them. And to be a musician, you have to be emotional because you actually put in some emotions on a beat.
Let's get to the actual case of like Diddy and DDG and things like that. Do you think it's the people around them that make it worse, or like are they just scared to speak up? Like, is it the people around them also pushing their behavior? Because if you think about the Diddy case, he has so many people around all the time that could have said something, could have spoken up, but just didn't.
The rich
and just watched an innocent woman allegedly,
Mia,
be in a position that she's in.
like it's all circle, and the rich is always gonna play with their rich. So monkey play by their sizes. I would say that. So yeah, if I'm having a party and you have to invite people here, you're gonna invite people that they're gonna f with me. You're not gonna bring people that's gonna be the chaplain or all that. So yeah, you got the sauce. That's why you are the one scouting the people here. Yeah. So monkey play by their sizes. It's just around their circle. You know how our circle is, right? There's a lot of things that no coffee, no, shut that down. I'm gonna like Mia.
So you do agree that there's the people around them that are making it worse.
It's them and the people. It's
you said no one around them is making it worse. If you see something and you don't say something, you're part of the problem.
They can't say something because
they can say something.
They can say something, but the moment they say it, they'll feel like an enemy, and
yeah, so they're making the problem worse.
No,
yes,
problem worse.
Literally, yes.
Diddy has his own advisor.
Okay, but I'm saying the people around him that are seeing everything that's going on, all these people that went to the parties and saw the abuse, they saw the bruises, they saw like literally everything that's going on.
In this case, you don't want to involve yourself.
Or let's even say Diddy G, his friends, or like let's say alleged Kofi was beating his girlfriend, and you will see the bruises on Kofi's girlfriend. Kofi is beating his girlfriend, and you don't say something. You're part of the case. You're part of the problem. You're making Kofi feel like it's okay for me to be doing exactly what I'm doing because one, you're scared of me to say anything, and two, you're never gonna say anything because you feel like you owe him some type of loyalty. So you're raising him like his power up even more.
I agree. You don't have to be quiet. Because the more quiet you are, it's like you're endorsing everything that I'm doing. You're actually agreeing to everything that I'm doing. So if I see you do something and I feel like it's not good enough, I'm just gonna tell you, hey, just shut it down or just do it. I'm gonna tell you what I'm supposed to tell you. If you're not gonna talk to me again because of that, that's cool. And that's the same way I expect from everybody. If you think I'm doing something crazy, just let me know. Like, hey, Kate, that is not worth it, and I'm gonna listen because I love to reason with people. But yeah, once again, your circle, you only bond with people that think like you, people that actually would do the things that you would do. Because just think about it. I don't think his personal advisor ever went to his party before. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Hey, I feel like he didn't even need to go to that party. He already knew. He already knew. That man used to talk about it on the radio and on his shows all the time. How ain't no party like a Diddy party, and everybody had a hint of what was going on at that party. So it's like, besides his advisors, his bodyguards, like all those people, they knew about it, and nobody said anything. At the end of the day, nobody would have power if it wasn't for other people.
Yeah.
So if the other people are supporting your behavior, they're not saying anything to you, you feel like you can literally do anything. And that's what these people feel like. They can feel like, especially let's take like the streamers on DDG's channel or whatever. When the case came out, everybody is supporting of him. Like nobody say, if they were to see him in real life, like nobody would go against what he's saying. It's the people that's making him feel like he has that power to continue doing whatever it is that he's doing.
That is why when you do something stupid online, all these brand ambassadors, all these deals, they're just gonna cancel it because they don't want people to know that they actually endorse the
support you. They don't want to give you that, make you feel like you have that power.
If you're a true friend, you will actually tell something to him or let him know, man, no, it's not worth the time. It's not worth the struggle. It's not worth it. So yeah, the people around. But once again, as I said, if I know this is what I'm doing, I don't need an advice from anybody. I'm going to employ somebody who agrees with what I'm doing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think they were definitely scared to speak up because
it's just the way the case looks.
Yes, but we are in a century of technology and a lot of ways to get about reporting things to people anonymously. You can definitely go about it a whole lot more ways than just like speaking up to him.
I think Mimi, you are talking from the views of being outside.
What do you mean being outside?
When you inside, when you're part of the team, it's different because
of course it is
because you have a special.
But you have to do something about it though.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah,
a
you
lot of
have
ways to do something
But
about it. So you would do something about
I
it.
am actually saying, based on what you said, that there's technology in there.
There's ways to get
They know
around
how
it, yeah.
powerful these people are too, because once again, this is not the first time they've been in the news for. They go, they come back free. They go, they come back free.
People disappear because of that shit.
I mean, of course.
They go, they
They
come
wanna
back free.
disappear?
So
I bet.
There's ways to get around it. Like,
If you have
so you're basically saying you rather it be somebody else, basically.
No.
That's what you're saying, because you rather just sit still and not even try.
I will just stay away from it and whatever.
Yeah.
So you rather let be somebody else.
Will, if you know the second.
That's what you're saying.
Listen,
you
justice,
rather it be somebody else getting hurt.
Justice is gonna come at the right time.
If you know
This is how it works. This is how it works. Justice.
And what if it never comes at the right time? What if that girl had died doing one of these FOs? Then what? How is justice gonna be served? She's dead.
But we not dead.
That's what I'm saying. You would rather it be somebody else getting hurt and not you.
There's always a sacrifice.
And you rather somebody else be the sacrifice. How is it a sacrifice if it's not benefiting you?
George Floyd died, right? But after that,
that's a whole different case. How is her dying being a sacrifice to you?
Not to me.
Exactly.
Not to me, but
you're
to the
basically
word.
saying you rather it be somebody else than if it was you, because you're never thinking of a perspective of that could be my sister.
That could be my sister, but
okay. So if it was your sister, you rather it be your sister than you.
But what are you doing there? You, my sister. What are you doing there?
Bro, you can't blame the victim.
What do you mean? What are you doing there?
Anyway, to get into that, we would have to get deeper into the case.
You damn my sister. What are you doing?
To get into that, you would have to get deeper into the case because she was young. This is her life. She's an artist. Just how you're an artist right now and you hitting up these producers and you working with that. That's exactly how it happened.
So
you should understand even more than
I do. Listen. So because there's a lot of top downs that they take advantage of.
Nelly said
the upcomings, right? Let me get down.
Hold
on. There's these top down. Most of them do take advantage of the emerging, the upcoming ones, right? Mm-hmm. But when you get to a point, you should know this is the limit. This is how I should go about it.
Well,
you know,
when they're young, it gets to a point where they can't do anything about it anymore. Because they control everything that they do. If you're signed to a label, you know what it's like.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
But listen.
Exactly.
Listen.
Read one.
So wait, before I come in. So let's say if you propose a deal to me right now, right? Can you hear me? Mm-hmm. If you propose a deal to me right now, and the deal that you're proposing to me, worth a lot. Let's say the contract is like 90-10. Mm-hmm. 90% for you, 10% for me. Are you gonna ask me if I'm gonna take it? Depending, let's say if Diddy or if Convict Music, if Empire brings that deal right now, I'm gonna take it for a term. Mm-hmm. Even though,
but you're going on what you would do. What you would do is not what somebody else did or somebody else is going to do.
But I can only speak for myself.
Yeah, but
I am making an example.
Your question was get to a certain point where you're supposed to leave. Not everybody thinks like that.
So
because
listen,
at the end of the day,
I'm not yet done. I'm trying to explain to a point.
Okay.
So if Empire comes with this deal 90-10, I'm still gonna do it. You know why?
Why?
Because Empire is gonna give me the mileage that I need within 2 years. I'm gonna be popular. Everybody's gonna know who Kofi K is for that 2 years. After the contract is over, then we talk again because now I can decide if I want to go with Empire or I want to go by myself. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to say here is that if you're getting used from the beginning, even though you had nothing, these people gave you the mileage to a point where you can actually get out of it and start from the ground. But this time you're starting with a lot of experience, and aside the experience, you're coming up with a lot of you already known.
She wasn't getting used in the beginning. That's why she stayed. She wasn't. She was signed to a label, and the label was helping her. So how was she getting used? The
moment she realized she was getting, she could have dipped.
Because at that point, it was a love interest. It is a lot more complicated when love. Yes, they literally dated. They were dating.
All right, so I'm gonna read the comment because
allegedly, everything I say is allegedly. So this is an ongoing case. Thank you.
All right, so Nelly B said everyone knew. I think was regarding the Diddy case. Mm-hmm. She also said you can also blame the victim. For example, Sky Jackson. I don't know about a case, but yeah. I don't know.
Can you
know-
elaborate on Sky Jackson's case? I don't remember what happened. I know she got pregnant, but that's all I know.
Yeah.
I don't remember if the guy was abusive or not. But
And then Max Weber put in some I don't know, emojis.
heart emojis.
Yeah, heart emojis. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's so sensitive. It's never okay to treat people because you offering them a help or anything, you know.
Mhm.
But also when you feel like you're getting used to a point, you talk about it. If it doesn't work, you finish your term, your contract, and then you have to sit down because your mental health is also important.
Yeah, this is definitely advice that I'm sure everybody needs to hear. And I always appreciate those, but you also have to realize that when these labels or this is even outside of labels, when you get people when they're young and there's a thing called manipulation that happens. So even when they're young, they think they know everything, and then they meet somebody who is way smarter than them and knows how to work around things, and then they end up in a situation where they never thought they would be in the first place.
If you're young, all that you have to do is to be humble and learn. You cannot know anything because
in a different environment, they don't know that.
okay. Yeah,
Like what's that to a 19-year-old? Like you're in the you're in the industry. You just dropped a song. It's hot. Somebody pick you up. You think like what?
Rima was around that age when he came up.
But we can't compare people though.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just using him as an example. But look at how humble he was. And now,
exactly, everybody's different.
Yeah, and now that he got the mileage, he is able to speak contract money with you. You know, that's how it's supposed to be.
And it's also like he was blessed enough to have a good person come up to him and do like a good label come up to him and do that. If you found somebody, this man is literally a crazy dangerous ass man.
I don't think there's nothing like a good label.
Okay, that's a whole different topic for you and your music industry people. But I'm saying he ain't get nobody that was trying to do FOs. That's all I'm saying.
They all businessmen.
He ain't get nobody that was trying to do no free calls. That's all I'm saying. What are the warning signs that someone is letting power get to their head?
All right, so I have a comment here.
Yeah.
Regarding Nelly's you telling her to elaborate.
Oh yeah, on the Sky Jackson case.
So she basically said Sky fell in love with a convict and he beat her. Like, girl, you can see that from a mile away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you blame Sky for that because, it didn't be yet. So
yeah, I do agree. So I retract what I said about it
listen, I'm off with you, but I'm an idiot. They know this is a situation, but they just want to taste that money. They want to taste that thing. They want to some people just.
There's no fame with taste with a.
No, I don't
listen. Some people just want to feel so smart to the point that even this is a situation, I'm still going to pass there to get this and get what I want. And the one who owns whatever thing that you're looking for at that moment, they're not stupid. So they also find ways to not get used or feel used. So it's dicey. Things like this is so sensitive.
Yeah, but falling in love with a convict is weird, but hey.
How weird?
Yes and no, because yeah, you're gonna get people that say, convicts deserve love too.
Yeah, they deserve love too.
Depending on what they did. If you're falling for somebody that is a killer and things like that, that's what you would be.
We are human beings. We are human beings. Listen, they're change of mind.
That's what I'm saying. Like she probably thought she could change that nigga.
Exactly.
She probably thought I could fix it.
But ask yourself, what did she exactly see in that man that she actually went for him?
I feel like there must be something that she with convicts. I don't know.
Please,
you don't know.
That is not a true statement. He said
most
statement.
Women, not all women.
That's not a true statement either. Most women.
Y'all said love goes where love is.
Exactly. Most women do not fall for convicts. I beg.
So you know what I'm talking about?
A very small person.
It depends on what she was looking for.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. He did this. I'm still gonna do this and get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes selfishness also comes into it. Sometimes you look at the money, you look at the Rolex, you look at the watch.
She wasn't getting nothing.
You never know
that from him. He's a convict. He doesn't have anything.
Oh, I was talking about Diddy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On that side, of course, like duh.
To be the
She was
girlfriend or
getting
the wife
yeah,
of a rich guy
and
like
she's
this.
19 years old. Like she was thinking she was about to be top dog.
And I'm gonna lie,
Yeah.
I feel bad for her parents' mom.
So that is how it happens. Sometimes it goes this way, comes back down.
But what are the warning signs that someone is letting power get to their head?
The way they speak.
Please drop it in the comments if you have
the way they speak, and sometimes they change. The change can also let you know that fame is getting to their mind, because there are some people when this one. I'm gonna use politicians as an example.
Politicians,
Ghanaian, like Ghana for no.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, when they want your vote, they'll come down to your level. They'll even come to your house and eat and pursue with you. They'll come to your level and pound your fufu for you.
It's part of the agenda. It's part of the setting.
All because of your kokromoti. They will come down to your level. Even if you don't speak English, they'll try to speak Twi to you.
Mm-hmm.
They will do everything in their power to be in your level. They will sleep in the same mat with you and all that. But when they win, when they get the power, that is when they tell you after elections there is no campaign. So that is one big example. That's one big example. When they get the power, they are like sharks swallowing the younger fishes in the sea.
I think is when their ego is getting bigger than their body. Like
right now, like how you feel right now.
My ego is not getting bigger than my body. But you can tell, like, of course, most people have like ego. But when you tell somebody's ego is just getting out of hand, like especially in the way they talk and the way they talk to other people, especially when it comes to like their parents and things like that, then yeah, this person, he's going a little too far.
But Mimi, wait, like think about this. I am a minister, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have convoy. I have like three motorcycles in front of me, 12 V8s in front of me, one ambulance in front of me. When I'm coming, everybody's supposed to park somewhere and let me pass. Then you, this little boy, you come and tell me something. Hey, my ego is gonna come. Like that is how it works. It's like
human nature, bro.
Yeah, human nature. It's like people actually see these people as God, as mini God. So they don't understand why one single person sitting somewhere, this person, because they have a lot of followers. They have like millions of people following them. When Michael Jackson opens his mouth, people start to faint. Like, look at how they've given him that power, how powerful he is. So what do you expect him to come on Wyattsdot podcast, and you ask him questions that you think is gonna piss him off?
Okay, so I will go ahead. Oh, you have a comment? Okay, go ahead.
All right. So regarding the ego and the recent, Max Weber said when they start being rude in a simple way,
yes,
or when they expect people to bow to them in some way. Also, Steven said, how can you tell if someone's ego is bigger than their body?
You see it when they're walking to you. But I was gonna say, one of the warning signs is when they start abusing the power. Like they start abusing the fame. Like take Diddy's case. He really could have, allegedly, he really could have gotten a person that was down to do these freak offs, like, without being forced, without having to force Cassie, because Cassie obviously didn't want to do it at certain points. So he really could have gotten somebody else to do it. But it's just the fact that he wanted to abuse his power and his fame and his control. That's an ego being bigger than your body.
Listen. I don't really.
You don't think she didn't want to do it at some point? Is that what you're saying?
No.
What are you trying to say?
I was not there. I don't believe anything that they say.
Hey, this is all alleged.
Yeah.
That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's true or not. This is what is being said in the courtroom.
But me personally, I don't believe, like...
You don't believe who?
Whatever going on.
You don't believe...
Because I was not there, so I can't tell what exactly happened.
Maybe she also liked it.
Yeah.
You never know.
Because I feel like me and Anna might do something stupid right here, but if we've been caught red-handed, he got to save himself. I got to save myself, So, like, I can even be like, nah. Let's say it this way, so we know what we're saying.
Yeah, you never know.
Because there have been scenarios that a girl was cheating on the husband, and the husband went to shoot that guy that she was cheating on with dead, and the police came. And when the police came, they arrested this guy because he killed somebody. And the lady said it was self-defense. You know? But at this point, the guy actually did it. But she said it's self-defense. So she defended him out of jail. So I feel like things like this, bro, it's deeper than what we see and what we hear. So I don't really like engage and talk about it. I don't really get much into it. But also, fame and power comes with a lot. So
all right, some more comments here if you don't mind me reading. So y'all also said, so you're saying if you got power, you should feel on top of the world?
No.
No. Max also said she was down. Yeah, basically agreeing. we are saying this is all alleged. So please, Max, I beg. And Max also said he was just more into it with her heart.
He was just what?
Diddy was more into it than her.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I
think the tolerance level, right?
Yeah. Continue from this. Why does it take so long for justice to catch up to people in power that are abusing it?
So imagine you being the judge, then not being the lawyer. I'm not gonna be there.
You're a Diddy?
No way. But imagine like if the people in the courtroom are all your people, you know, and or you've ever done them a favor to a point where they also have to do you a favor in return. So that is hand to hand. That is what I'm saying. This thing is a dirty game. Music is a dirty game. So sometimes you know what you're doing, right? So if you get a chance to meet the judge or whoever that you think is more powerful than you, that can put you into custody. You create that bond with them, that friendship, with that your $3,000 that you have in your account, you know. So all these people, they are linked. They are friends. So it's so hard, you know. Let's say if I need water, or you put a water here and I drink it, and you come ask, say, who took my water? Nana know for sure I took your water, but he's just gonna be quiet, like he never heard what you said.
Yeah.
Until I tell you, oh, I did. Like, oh yeah.
It's just
I agree.
Usually cases like this, with people in power, they are gonna try their very best to, you know, come up on top. So they're gonna hire the best lawyers. They're gonna make sure they're trying to, you know, twist the system some way possible. Try and add forensic evidence which was there or wasn't there. Trying to take things out, trying to pull things out. He has the power, so he has the money. He's going to
money is the power.
Yeah, he's going to try his possible best to, you know, elongate this whole thing in order for him to come on top.
Exactly.
Cases like this is really delicate because it's like you have to go through each and every possible scenario, His case is a special thing in its own box. It's never happened before. It dealt with so many people, so many victims. You have to, you know, go ahead. Everybody have to come one by one and, like, you know.
And they have the money to postpone whatever court date, whatever they. It's all money. It's all power.
I agree. And like you said, we really don't know half of what's going on, like, actually behind the scenes. This is such a complex world. Like, you really don't know who knows who's threatening who behind who's back. Let's take like Vibes Cartel's case that was thrown out because of a juror misconduct, because one of the jurors was allegedly try to bribe the other jurors to turn the case, right? So that's why he was released, because they found that there was a juror misconduct. So like, if you don't know this, they didn't know that, and he went to jail because of that, like, because of that whole case. So like you said, you don't know what's going on in the background. So cases like this can be so complex, and it takes so long for them to reach a decision because it's so complex. So sometimes justice is not served, and people get free just by having, you know, talking to the right people and bribing the right people and doing sneaky things behind something, you know.
So listen, you are the judge. I'm your favorite artist. What you gonna do?
As a judge, you should.
That's the question. First of all, you shouldn't be thinking about no favorite artist when you're a judge. Okay, you shouldn't even have one. So is it possible to separate the art from the artist when you're in a position as like a judge and things like that, like position of power where you influence people like that? Is it possible to separate the art from the artist?
That is what,
to have unbiased opinions.
That is what you sign up to do. That is what you devoted your time and your life to do, to bring justice, you know. So you have to do what you're supposed to do and put where right's supposed to be and where wrong is supposed to be. So yeah,
that is something that I feel like a lot of people find difficulty doing, separating
because
the art from the artist.
Yeah.
Yes, because like you see a lot of like evidence about somebody getting beat up by their favorite artist, and they'll still support the artist.
And you know one funny thing,
they'll still support the art and the artist.
Mia. So let's say if Chris Brown did what he did with Riri, right? And you hear saying that, oh, you don't support that. We all don't support a guy beating a lady. That is below belt. But when Chris Brown is doing meet and greet, who do you see there? Do you see guys?
Women most of the time.
Do you see guys?
Exactly.
They know this guy is beating somebody else, but still, these girls are
still
in line.
Yeah.
And some of them, they don't even just want a picture. They wish they could spend a night with this guy.
Still, yes.
You know? So at this point, if you're a guy and you come on social media and be like, oh, I'm not saying, but if you come on social media and you hear like, oh, what Chris did was all right, then a lot of females are also gonna hate you because they feel like, oh, you support a guy beating women. But yes, though, there's a lot of women in these shoes that they could fight for, but they're still pushing themselves in there and supporting the one that they think is beating women.
I feel like it's just because it hasn't happened to them, they wouldn't really relate. So
it's yes, but it has never happened to them. They don't relate. But if you say that what Chris Brown did was right, they're gonna tag your account. You know. But yes, though, they are in line for a meet and greet.
Yeah,
they are all going to take a picture and they want to do more that exceed that picture. So at this point, I don't know,
because they don't know how to separate the art from the artist,
which is true. So sometimes it's like things like this when you say it. That's what I'm saying. The people is always sometimes the fans that make them do what they're supposed to do, what they've been doing, not what they're supposed, but what they've been doing. So
we got one more comment from Yao. He said, "People in power want to stay in power. If you're first in class at the end of every semester, you wouldn't want to be the last.
Okay, you wouldn't. You would do everything you can to be first.
Yeah, keep up. That is why that is the biggest downfall of Africa, you know, when it comes to our leadership, because obihu amamono, like as in a family, like property. They want to lead. They want to be the president for years and hand it over to their son, their nephews, but it shouldn't be like that. So it's crazy. When you have a taste of power, it's so hard. It only takes a kind person, God-fearing person to be okay in that position. There are some people that I respect a lot because they've had power and the way they use their power. Everybody got down, like flaws, you know.
Yeah.
But you can actually tell Michelle Obama. I love her down.
So how should we, as everyday people, respond to quote unquote our faves getting exposed? Let's say, you said Chris Brown. Like Chris Brown got exposed. I love Chris Brown. I love his music down. What should I do? How do we? Because at the end of the day, we are the ones that are giving them power. So in a way, we are the power. So how do we react? What do we do in those situations? How do we separate the art from the artist? If it's possible to do that.
Honestly,
it's individual.
Yeah. Honestly, who cares if Blacko has gone to
listen?
What, kill someone? But I'm just
who cares? You should care that Blacko killed somebody to come make the music that you're singing to.
I think with that one, Africans are on top of that. I'll give it to them.
We don't support the BS.
Yeah. So
behind the music,
we don't care what you do. If you do something crazy, you crazy. You know. Let's look at Mohbad. When Mohbad thing happened, they didn't even know how to.
I have a follow-up question to where you continue.
Okay. What happened to Mohbad? We all don't know what actually happened. but because of that, what's his name?
Naira.
Zeno and Naira, they were losing followers because people felt like they were part of the death of Mohbad.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to that, Africans, like, they will actually make sure, if it is a serious case, they will actually make sure they bring you down.
So you support cancel culture is what you're saying.
What do you mean by that?
That's what cancel culture is.
I don't.
You're contradicting yourself. That is exactly what cancel culture is. People going online finding exactly what is wrong with these celebrities, like things that they've said in the past, like racially motivated and things like that, or like anything that an artist is doing now, and trying to cancel that because of that.
Mia, listen.
Like people try to cancel Chris Brown because of the Rihanna thing.
No,
that's
Mia,
cancel culture.
Wait, listen to what.
And you're saying Africans are doing exactly that.
Yeah,
Africans don't support the BS.
I'm saying they don't support the BS. Why should we support BS? If it
so
is
you
that,
support cancel culture?
No, listen, no, Mia, listen.
Continue.
It depends on the level of the things that you're doing, right?
Yes.
You know, Burna Boy, a lot of things are for show business. Like what just happened. I know by Lambo, that Lamborghini thing and Burna Boy thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lose Burna Boy because of the Lamborghini.
I don't think anybody was trying to cancel Burna Boy because of that. I feel like most, of course, there's some that are like, okay, like y'all doing too much, y'all trying to dig too much, but sometimes I feel like it is necessary. Like we should be doing our research on who we're giving power to, because you see what is happening to the people that we are giving power to.
But Mia, listen,
they're pissing on people.
Mia, it's not easy to be Burna Boy. That is one thing you suppose. It's not easy to be popular.
That still does not give them an excuse to misuse and abuse their power.
Nobody's abusing anybody. Listen.
Yes, they are. That's why they're in court.
Let me tell you this. Because they're in court because most of the time
they're abusing their power.
No, they're in court because most of the time people actually trap them. There's a lot of trap that comes your way to be an artist. You go for a show and you think after the show you're done, but you're gonna see a lot of people that you don't even know in your yard, like coming to you. There's a lot of setup. We've been, and everybody wants to have a taste of your fame, taste of your money, taste of whatever that you have. So they all come in. People actually sit down, work this math out, plan it out. Okay, after this,
but nobody is in control of you. Nobody is holding your mouth to say racist things. Nobody's holding your hand to go piss on somebody. That is an abuse of power.
Yeah, that is. And I do not.
So if people go online and are trying to do the research and find reasons and trying to find a reason why maybe you shouldn't have this power, I think it's valid.
So those people bringing out,
I see comments. Read,
but listen. Before you dig somebody out, dig yourself out,
please. Like I said, we are the power. Yeah. I'm sure when you get to that position, somebody will also be doing background research on you. But as you're in your position right now, as soon as you
this podcast,
what is the first thing you do when you found out about Blacko? Didn't you Google Blacko? You've never Googled Blacko before? You've never Googled Blacko.
For what?
What do you mean? You've never Googled him to see, where is he from, his age, anything?
No.
That's bro.
No.
Okay, people do that.
So in the comment here, Max Webler said, please, Shatawale still has fans, even though he no get sense.
But he just don't get sense. Has Shatawale killed anybody?
That is deep.
Is Shatawale pissing on people?
That is exactly what I'm saying. So it depends on the level of whatever thing that
of course, but
so look at Mohbad.
But I'm
the
saying
one I
you
use
still
as
support cancel culture though, because when it comes to big things like this, they're using it for the right reason. So you do support cancel culture.
To a point. I would say, listen, Mia, listen. Let me clarify this. I would say to a point because I don't agree that if you're an artist, you should drag people, you should put people into drugs and do all that. Mm-hmm. So if you do that and it comes out and it's true, then yes, I agree with what people say, mm-hmm. right? But there's a lot of things that I know is show business, so I don't agree to that.
Give me an example.
I just gave you an example, like Burna Boy, the Lamborghini thing. That one is not that deep.
That one, you even know it's not going to be effective because you're trying to cancel for saying I buy Lambo. You know nobody's even going to pay attention to that. Nobody's going to support that cancel culture movement of I'm trying to cancel Burna Boy because
a lady came up with an idea of he promised to buy me a Lambo and after had this with me and they didn't do this and do this and do that. That was the whole.
You think people are gonna cancel Burna Boy because he didn't buy somebody a Lambo?
Women will.
Yeah, listen, Mia, you lose followers over every single thing.
Read. And we're talking about big, like the actual reasons for cancel culture. Go ahead.
All right, so
But if you kill somebody, that one they agree with cancel culture. I bet.
Stephen Asari said separating art from the artist is virtually impossible because
Yes.
the artist is the embodiment of the art. In that, the artist is the medium through which art is conveyed.
Yeah, not to backtrack, but I agree because people will be like, "Oh, I'll just listen to the music, but I won't support them." Who is getting the money from the streams?
But listen,
Who is giving them the views to make them feel like they're still relevant? When a concert comes out, who's going to the concerts?
Mia,
How you supporting the music from the person?
Mia, you are the power. That's true. You own the power. But whoever the person is, earn the power from you.
I'm not understanding what you're saying here. So you saying you
Wait.
can separate the art from the artist?
No. What? You said something. You said we are the power, and we give these people the power.
Yes, like
And-
collectively.
Yeah. And I'm trying to tell you, you are the power. That's
Mhm.
true. You own the power.
But they
But
earn it.
these
Of
people
course they
earn
do.
the power.
Yeah, that's fine.
They do something to that worth the power.
Okay.
You know.
Mhm.
So they're working for it.
But of course nobody. They have to. They literally have to.
So-
Otherwise, we wouldn't be supporting them.
So do you think you have control over it at this moment?
Collectively, we do. If us collectively, if all Blacko's followers right now say we're not listening to Blacko anymore, who's gonna listen to Blacko?
I will.
If us collectively,
So-
all his fans, including you, say we're all not gonna listen to Blacko right now, what power is Blacko gonna have tomorrow?
You will still have power.
I beg, read the next
Yes,
comment.
you still earn it to a point.
Read the next comment, please.
All right, so Steven said, but artists are just humans too.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't
Who
forget
said they
that.
weren't? Nobody's saying they're
Don't
not.
forget that.
Max also said you should be able to avoid temptations.
As an
Issue.
artist,
Yes.
yeah.
Max also said exactly you can't separate the art from the artist. Max also said, because if he is good at something,
If
If he's good-
if he's good at something, in Jano Jimmy, because he does something good.
yeah, you didn't jam my own Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you support cancel culture. Thank you.
Wait, no, listen. I
You to mean John money.
Mia,
me.
Mia, you see.
And we have to cancel. We have
No,
to take
listen,
the power
Mia.
from him.
Mia, I understand
How
what
many times have you said my
listen.
name on this podcast today?
because don't let them get me wrong. Listen, I understand whatever thing that you're saying, right? But T, say Jimmy. There's a lot of things that people dig and actually bring out, and it's not even important. For that one, I do not agree with it.
name
You know-
one artist that have been successfully
Mhm.
canceled because of something as like something so little and stupid.
Do you know the number of followers?
Please name one.
Normally.
Naira Marley, he got canceled for something stupid.
Well,
I don't know how true it is.
Exactly.
Listen, I don't know how true it is, but still, court known for Bibiamba said he
Yeah.
actually did it. So
Well,
But it's
fans-
nothing
we don't even-
stupid.
fans
This is a
is just
huge
dragging
case,
it.
though.
it is a huge case, but how true is it?
But it is a huge case.
So Mia, listen.
It's not something little,
So-
something stupid as I didn't buy Lambo.
Yeah, but Mia, listen.
That's why I shout.
So Mia, listen. It's just like somebody died in this house and they just come and arrest everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yes, everybody is literally a suspect.
Yes.
They have to
But-
it's that
but-
serious.
But if the court doesn't issue anything saying that, oh, we did this, we did that,
But at the end of the day, it's still something huge, though.
it is huge. I'm not saying
So,
it's not
yes,
huge.
I'm saying
it is
I'm
huge.
saying them one person that have been actually
but you cannot
successfully-
cancel me for
canceled.
something that I did not do. That is what I'm trying to say.
Well,
Because he did not do that. But
you don't know that.
millions of
Allegedly.
What
Because-
he is trying to say
because
is
the court has not
the
issued
court-
anything
yes,
to us.
Yes, the moment the court gives that verdict.
So how
to you-
true is it? It can be an agenda from Twitter boys. It can be agenda
Yeah.
from somewhere
Of course,
else.
but I'm saying nobody. You're saying the person that has been successfully canceled for something so small and so stupid. Is
Even Diddy, we can't even.
That's what
cancel
you're
him
saying.
because his case hasn't-
Nana cannot cancel.
like his case hasn't been. His case hasn't.
I-
been-
Say that again.
We didn't know that he's guilty or not. Do we know
no,
that?
you don't know.
Do we know that? Do we know he's guilty or not? We don't know that yet. Until we
Mm.
hear that, yes, he's guilty, then you can go ahead and cancel him.
Ready about drink.
This one, the evidence that are stacking up against him, we need to be watching.
Yeah. So Mia, it's like I agree to it to a point. Because I don't think you should actually abuse power in a way that is gonna affect the lives of people or how people live. So to your point, I agree to whatever thing that it is, like child trafficking, all that. I agree that if you do that, we have to put your power aside and do what supposed done, because we all human. But something like Lambo, something like a cowboy from AliExpress thing, some crazy some
Internet is all this troll.
Yes,
all that
yeah.
can be trolls.
Yeah,
that
so-
can be called trolling.
So
And
for
cancel
that
culture is
one, I
different
do
from
not
trolling,
agree
so-
with it. But ukoye boni a Nyankopon kra eye boni e bebo no.
Any last words? Any last comments before we close out?
Just as an artist, being an influencer, being famous, and all of that comes with a lot of pressure. But
It's not just an artist. You're a photographer. So use yourself an example.
if make her finish it.
Nah. I said my boy is for that you to for example.
So, Charlie, you continue.
Continue what?
It passed my head, boo.
Mimi, talk.
Power doesn't have to be corrupt. I mean, work on yourself now, especially like somebody that's upcoming. Work on yourself now, so when you do get up there and you do have the fame and the power, you don't turn a whole different person and start doing corrupt things. I don't know. Use your power wisely.
Whenever we talk
Use it
about
safely.
fame and power, what comes in the mind of a lot of people is, an artist, a musician. No, it's not just us. Photographers can be in it, fashion models. They are all part of power, fame. Even why is that? Like, it can be
These
everyone.
producers, man, I've heard stories about these producers, man.
Before they put you on a show, you know what they have to do?
Yes.
So it can be everyone. It can be everyone. So it's not just artists. It's not just songwriters or anything. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So just two more comments.
Yeah.
To end it. Two from Max. He said Jonathan Majors got cancelled for the wrong reasons. Now he lost the huge contract to Marvel, and also the issue with Johnny Depp. All those two were from women.
Facts though.
That's what I have to say.
So that Lambo thing was serious, huh?
Yeah.
Well, if there's no more comments, I think it's you just put it in there. Thank you so much for joining us today. I truly enjoyed our comments. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We hope to see you in 2 weeks. Come ready and prepared for our next juicy topic. Bye. See you next week.
We will rise, moving with that wind like a kite. But my mind is fortified. In my room all alone, I like to stay in my zone. That is how I build my bones. Shall let that be my own? Life written like a poem. My wish shall be moving on. No physical, my heart is whole. My heart is so. Express your thoughts. I go express my own. If you express your own, I go express my thoughts. Express your thoughts. I go express my own. Make you express your own. I go express my thoughts. I go express my thoughts. Make you express your thoughts.